Welcome to this episode. We are today going to talk about the e-Rupee which has been launched in India on 2nd of August. I am Srinivas Rao and this is the episode in which we are going to talk about the e-Rupee which has been launched. The e-Rupee, which has been launched by Government of India on 2nd of August, is a very innovative instrument that enables subsidy disbursement through a prepaid instrument, and it can be redeemed by the beneficiary at a particular designated merchant establishment which provides that kind of targeted benefit in the form of a commodity, because it is a cashless e-Rupee, but it is not a digital currency. The main feature of this instrument is its simplicity, that it is based on the QR code and SMS string which passes to the beneficiary. It has 5 entities which create this instrument. The first and the foremost is the NPCI, that is National Payment Corporation of India, which provides the technical support to this product. The second most important is the sponsorer, that is the department which wants to pass on the subsidy in the form of a commodity to the beneficiary. Like, for example, if the government wants to distribute 5,000 rupees of food grains to the beneficiary, then an e-voucher, that is the e-Rupee, will be sent to the beneficiary's mobile in the form of a QR code. And the beneficiary has to go to the identified merchant establishment, show the QR code or the SMS string to the merchant establishment, who will be matching the credentials, identity of the recipient, and provide the particular commodity. So there ends as far as the cycle of operations is concerned. Now, the moment the commodity is delivered, the vendor will get the payment from the issuer. So, out of the 5 entities that form the value chain of e-Rupee, is the first one NPCI, second one the department which wants to use this facility to pass on the subsidy to the beneficiary. Third is the beneficiary himself, and the fourth is the bank which originates or which issues the e-voucher, and the fifth one is the merchant establishment. So all these 5 entities together will create this total value chain as far as delivery of the subsidy to the intended beneficiary is concerned. Now, what is the speciality? Because we have a lot of digital wallets which are working now, so one can send through those digital wallets as well. But the uniqueness of this product is that it doesn't require a bank account. So it is basically intended for unbanked community which does not have a bank account. Second thing, it doesn't necessarily require a smartphone. And third thing, it does not require any internet connectivity for the beneficiary. So it doesn't require any, it is a very simple prepaid instrument which can be redeemed by just showing the mobile to the vendor. So that is a very simple process. And the only way in which the beneficiary is identified is through the designated mobile number. And the payment of it can be tracked. As of now, the limit for the e-rupee is rupees 10,000. Maybe that way forward it will be enhanced. But right now it is 10,000 rupees. And it can be passed on to the beneficiary through the mobile device and in lieu of the subsidy. But it is a non-cash subsidy. So it is only against the delivery of an intended commodity. Right now, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Health, and National Health Authority, these are the three departments which have come together to launch this e-rupee, which will be very beneficial to the recipient as well as to the intending donor or sponsorer, we can say. It is a leak-proof device whereby there is no leakage of subsidy in transit, and there is no intermediary body to tamper with the system. So it is a foolproof system as far as passing on the benefit is concerned. It is designed in a collaborative manner with all the five entities working together, and payment to the vendor is assured, and hence it is a very useful device. Now, this kind of e-rupee or this kind of prepaid voucher is also available in other countries like US, Cambodia, South Korea. There are some countries which have already floated this kind of e-rupee, and this we can say that is a precursor to the launch of digital currencies by the central banks of the country, because some of the central banks of the country have already launched the digital currency to substitute part of physical currency, and hence maybe that the experience of this will be able to help the launch of the digital currency. So it's very interesting that this instrument will be able to serve the purpose of passing on the subsidy to those economically weaker sections who are not connected to the banking system, and maybe that way forward it will help in the financial inclusion process, whereby the people will get, more and more people will get connected to the formal financial system, and it is a self-liquidating system, because once the commodity is supplied, the transaction ends. And another feature of this is, even if the instrument or the voucher is forwarded to another mobile, it will not work, because the merchant will be verifying from the original mobile number of the device. So in that way it is a tamper-proof system, and it is a very convenient mode of passing on the benefit to the intended beneficiary. The experience of rollout of e-rupee way forward may be able to help us expand the scope of financial inclusion, and going forward many of the corporates can also buy this product from the issuing bank for the purpose of providing perquisites to their employees, where the end use of the funds is automatically verified, because the moment the commodity is supplied, so the verification takes place, and it cannot be used for any other purpose, it cannot be used in any other outlet, and it cannot be misused at any point of time. So these are all some of the benefits of this, and it is not a digital wallet, because it does not require any bank authentication or bank connectivity. So that is the biggest advantage of this. This is a very unique system that will take the financial inclusion to the next level, and the departments can be assured of the disbursement of the commodities, and the beneficiary will be able to obtain it, and the merchant will get the payment. So all the value proposition is fully well established. I think this will take the financial inclusion to the next level, and it is a good move as far as the process of financial intermediation is concerned, and the benefit is to the unbanked community. As of now, we have about 5 million POS terminals in India and about 850 million debit cards. So a lot of merchant establishments are already using the digital devices. So I think way forward, this scope of e-rupee will be further expanded. So friends, thank you very much for listening to the episode. I would request you to like, subscribe, and put your comments in the comment box. And you can also download the presentation, which will give you more information about this product, that is the e-rupee. And it basically works on UPI base, that is a unified payment interface, and also on the IMPS infrastructure of NPCI. So looking forward to your comments in the comment section. Share this, subscribe, and provide me the feedback on these episodes. Thank you very much, and meet you in the next episode.